Unidentified flying object. An unidentified flying object (UFO), more recently relabeled by certain enthusiasts as UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, is any perceived aerial phenomenon that cannot be immediately identified or explained. The topic, unidentified flying object, in overview. Observations. The topic, observations, in overview. 1561 Celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg. A mass sighting of celestial phenomena or unidentified flying objects (UFO) occurred in 1561 above Nuremberg, then a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. This view is mostly dismissed by skeptics, some referencing Carl Jung's mid-20th century writings about the subject, while others find that the phenomenon is likely to be a sundog. Roswell Incident. The Roswell Incident is the 1947 recovery of mundane metallic and rubber debris from a ranch near Corona, New Mexico by United States Army Air Forces officers from Roswell Army Airfield, and the conspiracy theories, decades later, claiming that the debris had extraordinary properties, involved a flying saucer, and that the truth had been covered up by the United States government. Rendlesham Forest Incident. The Rendlesham Forest Incident was a series of reported sightings of unexplained lights near Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England in late December 1980, which became linked with claims of UFO landings. Trans-en-Provence case. The Trans-en-Provence case was an event in which an unidentified flying object is claimed to have left physical evidence, in the form of burnt residue on a field. The event took place on the 8th of January 1981, outside the town of Trans-en-Provence in the French department of Var. Green fireballs. Green fireballs are a type of unidentified flying object (UFO) that has been reported since the early 1950s. Early sightings primarily occurred in the southwestern United States, particularly in New Mexico. Kecksburg Ufo Incident. The Kecksburg Ufo Incident occurred on December 9, 1965, at Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, United States, when a fireball was reported by citizens of 6 U.S. states and Canada over Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario. Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights, sometimes called the Lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted unidentified flying objects observed in the skies over the southwestern states of Arizona and Nevada, and the Mexican state of Sonora on March 13, 1997. Lights of varying descriptions were seen by thousands of people between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, in a space of about 300 miles (480 kilometers), from the Nevada line, through Phoenix, to the edge of Tucson. Mantle Ufo Incident. On January 7, 1948, 25-year-old Captain Thomas F. Mantle, a Kentucky Air National Guard pilot, died in the crash of his P-51 Mustang fighter plane near Franklin, Kentucky, United States, after being sent in pursuit of an unidentified flying object (UFO). Gorman Dogfight. The Gorman Dogfight was a widely publicized UFO incident which took place on October 1, 1948, in the skies over Fargo, North Dakota, United States. United States Air Force, USAF, Captain Edward J. Ruppelt wrote in his best-selling and influential The Report on Unidentified Flying Objects that the dogfight was one of 3 classic UFO incidents in 1948 that proved to Air Force intelligence specialists that UFOs were real, along with the Chile's Witted UFO encounter and the Mantle Ufo Incident. Ancient astronauts. Ancient astronauts, or ancient aliens, refers to a pseudoscientific hypothesis which holds that intelligent extraterrestrial beings visited Earth and made contact with humans in antiquity and prehistoric times. The topic, Ancient astronauts, in overview. Egyptian pyramids. The Egyptian pyramids are ancient masonry structures located in Egypt. Sources cite at least 118 identified Egyptian pyramids. Approximately 80 pyramids were built within the Kingdom of Kush, now located in the modern country of Sudan. Easter Island. Easter Island, Rapa Nui, Spanish, Isla de Pascua, is an island and special territory of Chile in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, at the southeasternmost point of the Polynesian Triangle in Oceania. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are a group of geoglyphs made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They were created between 500 BCE and 500 CE by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles and leaving differently colored dirt exposed. Occam's razor. Occam's razor, or Occam's razor, Latin. Novacular Occamy, also known as the Principle of Parsimony or the Law of Parsimony, Latin. Lex parsimoniae, is the problem-solving principle that entities should not be multiplied beyond necessity. Out-of-place artifact. An out-of-place artifact, UPART or UPART, is an artifact of historical, archaeological, or paleontological interest found in an unusual context, which challenges or may appear or be purported to challenge conventional historical chronology by its presence in that context. The topic, out-of-place artifact, in overview. Baghdad Battery. The Baghdad Battery is the name given to a set of 3 artifacts which were found together: a ceramic pot, a tube of copper, and a rod of iron. It was discovered in present-day Kajut Rabu, Iraq in 1936, close to the metropolis of Ctesiphon, the capital of the Parthian 150 BC to 223 AD, and Sasanian 224 to 650 AD empires, and it is believed to date from either of these periods. Its origin and purpose remain unclear. Helicopter hieroglyphs. The helicopter hieroglyphs is a name given to part of an Egyptian hieroglyph carving from the Temple of Seti I at Abydos. In paleocontact hypothesis circles, the hieroglyphs have been interpreted as an out-of-place artifact depicting a helicopter above the 9 short vertical bars, as well as other examples of modern technology. The helicopter image is the result of carved stone being reused over time. Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Ark of the Testimony or the Ark of God, is believed to be the most sacred relic of the Israelites and is described as a wooden chest, covered in pure gold, with an elaborately designed lid called the mercy seat. Mystery airship. Mystery airships or phantom airships are a class of unidentified flying objects best known from a series of newspaper reports originating in the western United States and spreading east during late 1896 and early 1897. Foo Fighter. The term Foo Fighter was used by Allied aircraft pilots during World War II to describe various UFOs or mysterious aerial phenomena seen in the skies over both the European and Pacific theaters of operations. Though Foo Fighter initially described a type of UFO reported and named by the U.S. The topic, Foo Fighter, in overview. Ghost rockets. Ghost rockets, Swedish, spökraketer, also called Scandinavian ghost rockets, were rocket or missile-shaped unidentified flying objects sighted in 1946, mostly in Sweden and nearby countries like Finland. The first reports of ghost rockets were made on February 26, 1946, by Finnish observers. Alien abduction. Alien abduction, also called abduction phenomenon, alien abduction syndrome, or UFO abduction, refers to the phenomenon of people reporting what they believe to be the real experience of being kidnapped by extraterrestrial beings and subjected to physical and psychological experimentation. The topic, alien abduction, in overview. Travis Walton Ufo Incident. The Travis Walton Ufo Incident was an alleged alien abduction of American forestry worker Travis Walton by a UFO on November 5, 1975, while he was working in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forests near Snowflake, Arizona. Barney and Betty Hill. Barney and Betty Hill were an American couple who claimed they were abducted by extraterrestrials in a rural portion of the state of New Hampshire from September 19 to 20, 1961. It was the first widely publicized report of an alien abduction in the United States. The incident came to be called the Hill abduction, and the Zeta Reticuli incident, because the star map shown to Betty Hill could possibly be the Zeta Reticuli system according to some researchers. False pregnancy. False pregnancy, or pseudocyesis, from the Greek pseuds, false, and kyesis, pregnancy, is the appearance of clinical or subclinical signs and symptoms associated with pregnancy although the individual is not physically carrying a baby. Ufo Conspiracy Theories. UFO conspiracy theories are a subset of conspiracy theories which argue that various governments and politicians globally, in particular the government of the United States, are suppressing evidence that unidentified flying objects are controlled by non-human intelligence or built using alien technology. Extraterrestrial intelligence. Extraterrestrial intelligence, often abbreviated ETI, refers to hypothetical intelligent extraterrestrial life. The question of whether other inhabited worlds might exist has been debated since ancient times. The topic, extraterrestrial intelligence, in overview. Drake equation. The Drake equation is a probabilistic argument used to estimate the number of active, communicative extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. The equation was formulated in 1961 by Frank Drake, not for purposes of quantifying the number of civilizations, but as a way to stimulate scientific dialogue at the first scientific meeting on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI. Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is the conflict between the lack of clear, obvious evidence for extraterrestrial life and various high estimates for their existence. As a 2015 article put it, if life is so easy, someone from somewhere must have come calling by now. Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi's name is associated with the paradox because of a casual conversation in the summer of 1950 with fellow physicists Edward Teller, Herbert York, and Emil Konopensky. Investigations. The topic, investigations, in overview. Project Grudge. Project Grudge was a short-lived project by the U.S. Air Force, USAF, to investigate unidentified flying objects UFOs. Grudge succeeded Project Sign in February 1949, and was then followed by Project Blue Book. Project Condign. Project Condign, not to be confused with the Condon Committee, was a secret unidentified flying object, UFO, study undertaken by the British government's Defence Intelligence Staff, DIS, between 1997 and 2000. The results of Project Condign were compiled into a 400-page document titled Unidentified Aerial Phenomena in the UK Air Defence Region that drew on approximately 10,000 sightings and reports that had been gathered by the DI-55, a section of the Directorate of Scientific and Technical Intelligence, DSTI, within the DIS. Brookings Report. Proposed studies on the implications of peaceful space activities for human affairs, often referred to as the Brookings Report, was a 1960 report commissioned by NASA and created by the Brookings Institution in collaboration with NASA's Committee on Long-Range Studies. Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, UAPTF, was a program within the United States Office of Naval Intelligence used to standardize collection and reporting of sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, sometimes termed UFOs. Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book was the code name for the systematic study of unidentified flying objects by the United States Air Force from March 1952 to its termination on December 17, 1969. The project, headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, was initially directed by Captain Edward J. UFO Report, U.S. Intelligence. Preliminary Assessment, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, also known as the UAP Report and colloquially misnamed the Pentagon UFO Report, is a United States federally mandated assessment, prepared and published by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence on June 25, 2021, summarizing information regarding unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, which include unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Robertson Panel. The Robertson Panel was a scientific committee which met in January 1953 headed by Howard P. Robertson. The panel arose from a recommendation to the Intelligence Advisory Committee, IAC, in December 1952 from a Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, review of the U.S. Flying Saucer Working Party. Flying Saucer Working Party, or FSWP, was the name of the United Kingdom Ministry of Defence's MOD, first official study into UFOs, which has its roots in a study commissioned in 1950 by the MOD's then Chief Scientific Advisor, the eminent radar scientist Sir Henry Tizard. Active SETI. Active SETI, active search for extraterrestrial intelligence, is the attempt to send messages to intelligent extraterrestrial life. Active SETI messages are predominantly sent in the form of radio signals. Project Sign.